Hello friends, welcome to SKC Info. Friends, when we are affordable by the grace of God to build a house for a safer stay, we think of building it with an idea that it lasts for maximum possible years, right? And building life is nothing but the span or the time period the building serves with good structural protection and causing least damage or repairs. That is called building life. And we desire the building life to be at least 80 to 90 years. But the building life is completely dependent upon what standard we follow during construction and what kind of building materials we involve in our structure. See, everyone wants their building to perform well in all conditions and survive for longer time and give them good shelter for longer time. But the question is, why do building collapse? As I said earlier, the material we choose for construction and the workmanship on the site are the main factor on which building safety is dependent upon completely, and with that the negligence in technical aspect also is the main reason for any building to collapse. Friends, generally we say that a good building is a result of good construction practices. There are several causes for any building collapse or structural failure, which are discussed and emphasized one by one in this video. So please watch the video completely to know about these interesting facts. Now we shall see what are some of those important factors affecting building stability in this video. First factor is quality of material. See, if not so high standards, at least choose the material like sand, cement, concrete, or what we call it as metal, which possess minimum requirement as per IS standards. Just do not go for the materials which are available easily at your place, but do check that it must meet the standards to give your building a good life. Next comes the quality of construction. Please do take care while preparing the concrete. That is, good monitoring during batching, mixing and placing of concrete in position. And make sure that the scaffolding is stable and good during the construction, which otherwise causes a huge loss during the construction. And try to hire skilled laborers for proper bar bending and all. And next comes the general aspect of the building safety. See, if we are constructing any building, we need to be very patient. Do not go for urgent completion of work. What we say in general is hurry work in timing. This leads to technical failure, causing the building life to become less. Now the next factor is type of soil and footing size. See, different soil types offer different type of internal energy to act opposite to the load they are getting on them. Means the load the soil is getting, and depending upon that the footing size is decided. Improper footing size causes the settlement of structure, thereby leading to the collapse of that building. Here I have given some soil types and their safe bearing capacity, which plays a very important role in the structural design of an building. Here we can see that for fine, loose and dry sand, the safe bearing capacity of soil is 100 kilonewton per meter square, and similarly for compact clay it goes 450 kilonewton per meter square, and for compact sand the SBC of that compact sand is 450 kilonewton per meter square. If the strata of the soil on that particular site is hard rock, it offers the maximum soil safe bearing capacity. It is 3300 kilonewton per meter square. Next factor is toppling of structure. Toppling means the structure or the building sway on one side. See, toppling of structures takes place due to the placing of slender column along the longer side of the span, which is against the BIS standard. Now here, what is slender column? Slender column is one in which the longer side is twice or more than twice of the shorter side. And if such columns are placed along the longer side of the span, there is chances of toppling of the structure, which is proved in several case studies. In addition to this, as we discussed earlier, if the soil is loose and silty, it undergoes intense densification under sustained load over longer period, then also the toppling of structure takes place. Along with this, if there is prolonged waterlogging on the site, it weakens the soil around the basement wall and foundation, which thereby causes the foundation distress, which declines the service life of a building. Now next factor is good bonding between columns at supporting ends. So how do we ensure it? This is achieved by proper lap joint in columns. If otherwise, it goes against the BIS code, disregarding the IS standards and causing the structural integrity. So therefore, it becomes important to see that there is good bonding between column at supporting ends. Now next is the partition wall thickness. Now you may think that how does it affect the building life? But it actually does affect the building life. Friends, we presume that the load transmission is done only through beams and columns, but we neglect that even partition wall can serve in proper load distribution. So it is better to avoid half brick thickness for partition walls in the construction. And most importantly, we should not provide abrupt column size and shapes, but rather the column size and shapes should be adjusted with the wall thickness and position. And also it is recommended to make sure that there is proper execution of column beam junction, that is, provide L bends in beam and column junction, which gives good adherence or bond, what we call it as, between the both column and beam. And if we are talking about steel, it becomes important to know about steel usage. Excess of steel is also very dangerous, especially at the junctions, because this causes the building collapse by sudden burst. And also use covering blocks to avoid rusting and corrosion of steel, and to protect steel from short circuit and fire accident in the building. And even the main reason for building collapse is improper design, or what we call it as bad structural design. And if sometimes even there is good design or proper design also, due to the lack of communication between the designer and the execution of worker, there is chances of the damage to the building. And in addition to that, being a owner or contractor, we should avoid some mistakes on the site. Like we should not follow the practice of filling the basement with construction waste. Here the construction waste is nothing but the material we get from the demolished building. So we should not do that. If we practice such kind of things on site, it causes unnecessary load to the foundation and thereby causing the dampness in the structure over longer period. So along with taking precautionary measures while constructing new building, it also becomes important to go for building audit for older buildings. If the building is of age 30 years and below, it is required to audit or cross-check the building once in 5 years at least. And if it is the building is 30 years of old or more than 30 years, it is required for auditing once in 3 years at least. Building audit is carried out to check the feasibility and requirements for any repairs, changes or development needed to enhance the life of that building. And it includes mainly concrete testing and building maintenance, etc. So in view of social sustainability, the building audit is carried out by municipal corporation authority with due responsibility for a healthy society. Friends, if you have any doubts regarding this topic, please let me know in the comment section. And also for general estimation of a building and material calculation of beam concrete, the videos are available and the links are provided in the description. If you like the video, please do like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, friends.